Here with Safety Coach Josh Christian-Young. How was the scrimmage today?
I thought it was pretty good. The one thing we're doing a good job of is a lot of different situations. Trying to, it's hard. You can't script some of it, so it flows pretty natural. But I thought it was a good situational scrimmage. The one thing I thought we did a pretty good job as a defense of is I thought we tackled pretty well today. And you get a little nervous about that the first time you go live.
You had a press conference this week. You said you were impressed by the football IQ of your room so far.
Yeah.
How does that translate onto the field? And did you see that in the scrimmage?
Yeah, I mean, we made some mistakes, but some of that situational awareness, I think that's something we can improve on. But it translates a lot because, there's a lot of stuff they have to do to be able to communicate and get the calls, right? It's, again, like I said in the press conference of the day, like we're doing a lot of different coverages. We're doing a lot of different techniques and things like that. So I think that IQ just allows things to kind of flow and fit a little bit naturally. And the other part is we got a lot of guys that have played a lot of football.
You obviously work with Coach Jay Bateman a lot.
Yep.
What kind of describe him to the fans, to someone who knows him good well?
Yeah, he's pretty fiery, man. He's passionate, but the one thing about him is he cares. He cares about us as coaches. He cares about the student athletes, right? And he's got a high standard for everybody, and he definitely shows that sometimes.
And then just wrapping up here, why did you want to join this coaching staff and become a part of Kentucky football?
Yeah, I think anytime you get a chance to compete in the SEC at a high level, you do that, right? But this was always kind of a place that was attractive, right? Like I'm from Missouri, I actually came here when I was a GA one time to clinic under the last staff, and I always kind of liked Lexington, so I've always been close, always kind of known about Kentucky, and then the chance to get back with Coach Bateman was critical, and then I got a lot of respect for Coach Stein, right? I knew him, I knew his name, his reputation before I knew him. I knew some guys that worked with him at Oregon. Just type of person he is, and then when I did my little interview, the one thing that sold me on him, he's got young kids, I've got young kids, and he was like, man, you can bring your son to practice every day. I want it to be a family atmosphere, and so like once he said that, like nothing else mattered to me. Like I was all about that, and I was ready to come.